Today's day number 50 of the $1,000 account challenge, and we are up $942 in the account, or 16% of the total portfolio balance. Now, if you don't know, my name is Gates. I'm taking $1,000 and I'm day trading options to see how far we can grow this account. And we are up to $6,700 in the account, starting with that $1,000 account balance. We are gaining some momentum. I took 2 trades in the account today. We're going to break those trades down, going to the alert room, actually straight off the day trade watch list first. We had AMD as a long idea above $211. So in the alert room, today was a typed alert day. AMD was mentioned at 9:34 a.m. Before we even took the position. AMD, load it long, I give you the contracts. 9:38 a.m., about 4 minutes later, took entry on AMD long. I remind you of the contracts. I give you my fill price and I give you my stop loss. Again, that's at 9:38 a.m., which is right here. So why would I take the entry here where I did? Well, we get the break above 211 right at the open. And I know that I'm not chasing this move up, so instead what we do here is wait for a dip. Now, normally I would buy this dip and go long here, but I was making sure that I wanted to make sure that this was going to hold 211 first. So I wanted to see another green candle press up off of 211, and when we got that move up, I decided to market buy, go long on AMD here. That's going to be right at 9:38 a.m. From here, it's literally just trade management. So by going long here, my risk down to the low of day looks like that. Potential reward up to and through the high of day looks like that. So here's your reward amount. Here's your amount of risk. Very small amount of risk assumed compared to the amount of reward that was possible. Now, we know that AMD has been making bigger moves lately, and given that information, trading volatile contracts, I figured we might be able to get over 20% on this trade. Sure enough, that was exactly the case. And when we got the move up to the high of day, I started to scale out of this position. 20% profit offered to us at 9:40 a.m. I went ahead and took that, but left runner size on. 30% profit offered to us about 4 minutes later, 9:44 a.m. And then 1 minute later after that, we were offered upwards of 40% profits on this move up into the high of day, which I closed the full position out on. So AMD, I said, now up 20%, you can take your profits or hold. I sold some, but I'm holding for more. Then I'm moving my stop loss up to break even. So I'm walking you through this trade as we're gaining profits, right? Next sell target 204. And I'm mentioning Apple as a short position too, while we're also trading AMD. A lot going on here. AMD hard stop set at 157. That's going to be break even. Now at 30%, sell target 204. Sold some more, still holding more. Final sell will be at 40% at 220. So I'm telling you where I'm looking to sell at. And then sure enough, we get the move up 40%, now at 220. Fully out of this position. Now, I made the decision not to go back in on AMD because it did fully retrace this pop move back up, and I figured, well, maybe it's not going to hold 211, and sure enough, it didn't. It broke below, treated it as a point of resistance, and you actually could have taken it short off of 211 multiple times for this move down towards the low of day. The second trade that I took was straight off the day trade watch list. This is on Microsoft side chart, short idea below 403. MSFT 5-minute time frame looks to me like a bear flag formation, including the pre-market price action here. So what we have is your bear flag formation and then your flagpole itself from the pre-market down into the open. The short trigger placed at $403 was by design. I wanted to make sure that it was going to stay below the previous day's closing price. So when I recognized this starting to press up above 403, but then unable to hold above 403, I decided to go short on this, thinking that, you know what, maybe this bear flag will break down. So let's move this to the 1 minute time frame and go through the time-stamped alerts on Microsoft straight out of the alert room. Microsoft took short entry, give you the contracts. Now remember, we loaded these contracts earlier, right? So you should have had those prepared and ready to go. All we had to do was press buy here, took short entry, 9:51 a.m., time-stamped, give you the contracts, give you the fill price, which ironically is the exact same fill price that we had on AMD contracts. And the stop loss is a reclaim of 403. That's at 9:51, which is going to be right here. So my stop loss was a reclaim of 403. That's going to be my amount of risk. My reward was the potential low of day, which is going to look like that. So reward here, risk amount here, you can see that the risk amount very small in relation to the amount of reward. From here, again, it's just trade management. On this trade, I actually decided to scale out earlier because of low of day. I thought that this might be a potential point of support. So when we were offered 10% profits at 9:57 a.m., I went ahead and took that, and then I closed the full position out on a break of the low of day at 10 o'clock at 20% gain. So nearly 10% on Microsoft here, and I said we're moving this stop up. No reason why this should recover if this trade is to work. So after we get this breakdown here, that's our confirmation that the trade is working. From there, I decided there's no reason to have a stop loss at 403. We should move that stop down because we're getting the confirmation here. If it does push up and reclaim and make higher highs, we can just close it out at break even, right? So again, like I said, I was looking for the 10% move just because it was low of day. It could have been potential support. So I give you the sell target at 1.74 for 10% to lock some in. And I said, I'm going to scale out of this one. So I'm telling you my trading plan before it even happens. Hard stop at 150 for a 5% loss. Microsoft now up 10%, entry 157, now at 174. Can take your profits or hold. That's up to you. I took some off here, right? I'm reminding you what my plan was. Next sell target 189 for the full amount of the position. Now up 20%, 1.89 fully out there. Sometimes it's literally just as cut and dry as that. You have the watch list, you have your trigger level set, and you execute your plan based on what you see. So with just those two trades alone, that brings our total today to a $942 gain, up 16% in the account challenge. And thank you so much for your support and watching so far. If this video has helped you out, press that like button for me and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel if you're not subscribed already. It's the best way to support this type of work that I do, and it's free. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow when we continue the $1,000 account challenge. Cheers.